Now getting the voice? So from next week we will move on towards the app. This is this is the last class we are taking of this teaching aptitude on the YouTube. After that we will move on towards the application, and it will be available on the application only. So let us start the session. So we are talking about the adult learners. Particularly, whenever we are talking about the development and the learner characteristic for the college level education, that is the net is all about the college level education. For the higher education teaching, for particularly for the higher education teaching, we have to see the characteristics of the adult learners. So if we are seeing the characteristics of the adult learners, the prominent theory, the term adolescent, whenever we talk about the term adolescent has been given by the Stanley Hall. Has been given by the Stanley Hall. So the people which we are focusing on, they are the adults. We can say that they are the adults, but they are the adults moving from the adolescent. So we have to understand the adolescent characteristics also, and we have to understand the adult characteristics also. When we actually talk about the education of the adults, then what we see, we see that the science is called andragogy. The science is called andragogy, or the subject is called andragogy. That is study of how adults learn, and it is a theory developed by Malcolm Novels. So the term adolescent was given by Stanley Hall, but the theory today we are discussing is given by the Malcolm Novels. He has talked about the variety of research centered on the adult development, their needs and their learning styles. Because they are not, as we are talking about the just adolescent aged child, which is of the 12, 13, 14, 15-year child, because after 16 or 17 years the child is coming to college education, and from 16 to around 25 years, from 16 to 25 years they are going through various phases of college education, be it the graduation, post-graduation, research. So we will see that the variation of the learners is from around 17 years to the 25 years. So from 17 years to the 25 years, we have to see the development of the child. So Novels has given 5 underlying assumptions. He has given 5 underlying assumptions which signifies it. So application of these 5 components with the other theories which we will study, like the multiple intelligence theory of Gardner, cognitive development theory of Piaget, psychosexual development of Freud, defense mechanism given by Freud, then psychosocial development given by Erikson, moral development given by Kohlberg. Along with, we will study those theories also. So this will actually complete our domain of development, particularly for the child. So domain of development, particularly for the child, we see, and in that we will see that how the child varies from one to another domain. So first one, The first assumption is adult learners are generally self-directed. So what we see that when we talk about the adult learners, they are generally self-directed. So what self-direction means and how it is applicable to our concern? If we are talking about the self-direction, how they are self-directed and how we gonna use it and what self-direction means. So a psychological need for self-direction. So self-directed means they are concerned with their particular needs. What we see that they are maturing as an adult. Particularly the learners which we are focusing on, they are maturing as an adult. And as they are maturing as an adult, what we see, they want their autonomy of decisions. But the society does not consider them that they are matured enough to take their own decisions. But novels says that the frame of the learners at this time are self-directed. So we have also seen the narcissist behavior by the kids. They often used to admire themselves in the mirrors. So this is the common feature among the adult learners. Now they are self-directed, so we have to see the psychological need of self-direction, why it is important. They are growing as an adult and they are exploring themselves within the society. They need empowerment, they need opportunities, so that this self-direction could be nurtured and it can be converted into self-actualization. So what we have to work upon? We have to work upon that self-direction can be converted into self-actualization. That means they can actualize their potential. They can actualize their potential, and the potential can be actualized to reach the maximum potential. The maximum potential that individual can achieve. So that is self-actualization. So we can say that they want to be treated as capable of self-direction. They want to be treated like that. So if they are taking a decision and you are interfering in those decisions, if you will be taken as a barrier or threat to their decisions, they will revolt against you. So if you have seen the Bollywood movies, what is the foremost plot whenever a young kid has been launched in the movie? Right it from the Bobby, when Rishi Kapoor was launched, then I have seen the movie Betab, that is Sunny Deol was launched, to the foremost, the students of the year. So the common theme is that the young kids are in love and parents are against them. And as parents are there against them, they revolt against the parents to marry the individual they love. So what this signifies about the psychology of the child, that they treated themselves that they are capable of taking decisions. So they should be given opportunities, they should be allowed to work on their own, to take their own decisions, and also work collaboratively with the peers. What happens at this time? At the time of learning, often parents and teachers condemn of their friendship, but actually through the friendship they are collaborating to function, to do some work. They are collaborating, and when we condemn their friendship, their sense of friendship, their enthusiasm of taking friendship to the next level, then we see that actually whenever we are creating barriers, we are actually destroying the collaborative nature of the functioning. Within society, the collaborative nature is foremost. Individuals has to collaborate, that is the society. So if individuals are not promoted or not given the autonomy or freedom to have the friendship and work collaboratively, the basic structure of the society will get negativity, will get deterioration. So what we see, adults, if they are given responsibility, so we will see that they accept responsibility for their own learning, and if it is perceived as timely and relevant. If it seems to be irrelevant, then they will not take it seriously. And this we have seen clearly in the CBCS system. When credit-based, choice-based credit system was introduced, we have seen that a majority of courses which are being enforced on the learners, they don't have any takers. Like the popularity of the Hindi as a subject in the Delhi University. Popularity of Hindi as a subject in the Delhi University, the people who are not studying the Hindi honors courses, they are studying the general courses, they don't want to take Hindi. The popularity of other languages has increased. What it signifies? It signifies that they don't think Hindi as a language for their professional or futuristic development. They don't think so, and therefore they are not choosing Hindi as a subject in their academic courses. So various courses in the CBCS system where the child, the student, the adult learner has to choose among the courses, they don't go for it because they see that they are irrelevant in the future course of life. So if they perceive learning as relevant and timely, they will take the responsibility on their own. We should expect them to be held accountable, and when we make them accountable, like we have made them accountable in the CBCS, in the choice-based credit system, it supports the effective self-directed learning. And within the college level, the learner should be self-directed. They should not be dependent upon the teachers. And that is also the basis of the research. How an individual can research? They can only do the research in a proper manner if they are self-directing their learning. Research always needs the self-direction. Guide will be there, but what is the role of the guide? He will give you the direction, but you have to, as a learner, walk upon that path which has been guided by the guide in the research area. And when you have actually conducted the academic research, which is for the purpose of getting the degree, academic degree, like you have done your MPhil, you have done your PhD, you have conducted your academic degree. But what after that? Even our professors are not doing research in the area. That means that they are not working upon. I've said that the one function of education is also to create the knowledge. So research is the process of creating the new knowledge. So if the individual is not having effective self-directed learning, he cannot create. That means after doing the necessary academic research, they do not bother to research further. Therefore, we have seen that in India, the research-based scenario is very much missing. So this is the self-directed behavior of the adult learners. Then second one. The second assumption by the novels is adult learners need to know the importance and relevance of what they are learning. So we have seen that if they see the learning being timely and relevant, they take responsibility of their own learning, that is self-direction. So if we are giving instructions as a guide, as a lecturer, or as a professor, what is our role? We have to make the learning relevant for the learner. They should understand and know the importance of the relevance of the various content they are studying. So if we are going to see, the purpose of the learning should be established before engaging in the learning process. So in our practices, what we should do? We should always establish the learning objectives, purpose, before the learner got engaged in the learning processes, learning opportunities. Otherwise, what will happen? The motivation, the intrinsic motivation may or may not be available there because they don't know the importance. So either they are learning just to pass the examination, just to get the degree, they will actually not learning. So we have seen this problem that people are often just gathering information. They are not learning anything, they are gathering information. Why they are gathering information? So that they can answer in the examination. So actual development of the learner is absent, even though they have completed the whole academic developmental program that we called as education. So they have completed their education, but they are not educated. They are educated degree wise. They are not educated when they have to do some work. They have to communicate within society. They have to function as a social member. Like I have always said that we have studied civics or the social political life up to 10th class. But still we don't know the importance of giving a vote. Still we may favor a particular party. Still we cannot criticize our own government. And we cannot criticize the various kind of opposition also. We can't see the merit. If we are against a certain government, we are against them. So if they are doing something meritful, we are also against it. So what we see? We see that we can't become the critical aware citizen of the India. Why so? Because we have just memorized the statement from first class to the 10th class. We have not learned to become a citizen. We are not a citizen, we become a puppet of any party. So if we are becoming puppet of any party, and the same people, what they will do, they will be, they are studying science, they are studying very much science from 1st to 10th class, but still they believe on various kind of misgivings. So what we see that we are studying science, we are studying polity, we are studying history, we are studying various subjects, but they are not helping us in our decision making in daily life. They are not helping us. And if they can't help us in our daily life routine, what we are going to see that we are not educated. So still we are in the loop of babas, various kind of babas. Still we fight on the name of religion. Still we are fighting for various kind of discrepancies within the society. We condemn one government for their work, but same work has been done by the previous government also, and we are praising it. We are praising present government, we are blindly following it, but the same thing has been done by the previous government and we are condemning them. Still we don't believe in sciences. So what we see that the establishment before the engagement is very much important. So this will result in the readiness to learn. This will be the readiness to learn. So readiness to learn is the relevance of the task in their lives and works, particularly the adult learner. What happens in the school education, we can have them like we can force them to learn something, but what happens in college, why people are going for the books like Champions, one day series, 1 week series, why they are going for these kind of books in the college education? Because they feel that they have to just pass the exam. There is no relevance of the content in this life, in their society. So why we bother to study them? Why we bother to study them? So we should arrange the opportunities so that they should be engaged in the real world problem solving. So education becomes the bridge. It will becomes the bridge for tackling various kind of problems, for moving on towards the professional life, towards the social life. They're still at the one end where their fellow family members, they are saying that now you are becoming adult, now you have to become independent, and within the society they start exploring it. Like in the our age also there was the courtship. Nowadays it is very prevalent. So if an adult learner is courting the partner, so if they are courting, then that means that they are feeling independent to start the family. They are seeing themselves as a couple. So now they start seeing education as the bridge towards where they are. That means they are dependent on their family to become the independent social member of the society, where they can take their own decisions, where they are responsible for doing some work. So we will see that they have the competing interests, clearly establishing the importance of a study and why it is valuable and meaningful. Then comes the third assumption. Adults always brings a variety of experiences to the classroom that can be utilized in their learning. which we have seen as a helping behavior given by the Boris. In the helping behavior given by the Boris, we have seen that adults always bring experiences to the class. They always bring experiences to the class. Therefore, these experiences should be the part and parcel of the learning opportunities being conducted by the teacher, being facilitated by the teacher. They will be the foundation of the learning. They will be the foundation of the previous learner. So experiences of the learner, are foundation of their own learning, and it will facilitate the growth continuum. It will facilitate the growth continuum. So we should always tap into their experiences, and it will benefit the all learners. Experience of one can be a learning opportunity for all. We have seen that if an individual learn by his own experience, he will learn for a lifetime, for one lifetime. But when he is learning from the various experiences being provided by the fellow peers, then we will say they can learn for multiple lifetimes. So why as a teacher you become very wise? Why as a teacher you become very wise? Because you are learning year by year from the experiences of the students which you are getting within the class. So what we see, learning with expectations about the process and established patterns of learning, they will also be the pattern, they will also be the part of their experiences. The patterns of learning will be the part of their experiences which they have faced, which they have earned earlier in their life. So the process should be provided within. Then comes the fourth assumption. Adults are always result oriented, and they readily and quickly shifts from theory to application. Because they have to function within the society. They have to function within the society, and as they have to function within the society, they are very quick in applying the theories which they have learned. They quickly apply them. So what we see that adults always are performance centered, want to apply new knowledge in the real life. They are always susceptible about the new learning, and then they want to test their ideas before they accept them. So they immediately start testing these ideas in the real life. Then we will see that they have the specific outcomes. They believe that this outcome can be achieved, and if those outcomes are not coming, they are not learning furthermore. If the outcomes are not coming, they will not learn furthermore. So from theory to application is a formidable thing which we have to ascertain about, which we always have to ascertain about. Then lastly, what we are seeing, adult learners are always intrinsically motivated. Whenever adult learner is doing something like taking admission in a college, they always have something in mind. and this something is intrinsically there is own. What happened, we may have the conflict of in present day society where the extrinsic motivation is often confused with the intrinsic motivation. We may say that there are certain elements where these two things are fusing with each other, and the child cannot classify whether he is intrinsically motivated or extrinsically motivated. An individual want to become an engineer, whether it has to do that engineers are earning more, or whether he want to build something, it cannot be differentiated. It cannot be differentiated. So an individual want to become a doctor, whether he want to serve the patients or whether he is in the profession so that he can earn the handsome money, because doctors can earn handsome money. Still we see that whether they are confused intrinsically, whether they are not motivated intrinsically, extrinsic motivation is being converted into intrinsic motivation, still whenever they are learning, they have clear and relevant goals. Whether they are motivated intrinsically or they are confused intrinsically and motivated extrinsically, they have clear cut goals, they have relevant goals, and therefore it works best for them. So we should set the relevant and achievable goals which would keep them intrinsically motivated. The path which we are facilitating should be related and applicable to their learning so that they can easily reach their goals. The intrinsic motivation is strongest whenever we are seeing that tasks are timely and appropriate. If they are timely and appropriate, we will see that intrinsic motivation is maximum. So the reference has been, the paper has been prepared by L Education, and they have adapted this particular section from the Glickman, Gordon and Gordon 2007 Supervision and Instructional Leadership, a Developmental Approach. The 5 assumptions which we have seen about the novels, they have been adopted from the book of the Glickman, Gordon, that is Supervision and Instructional Leadership. So you got all 5 assumptions of the now we will see the multiple intelligence theory. One theory we will also take. So we are talking about the multiple intelligence that has been developed by the Howard Gardner. So multiple intelligence theory that has been developed by Howard Gardner in this we are seeing the eight intelligences. It has been 6 intelligences. Interpersonal had been missing. No, it is there. Naturalistic intelligence is not in there. There are 8 intelligence we should work upon. So these are the 8 intelligences So intelligences are linguistic intelligence. The first one is linguistic intelligence. Second one is logical mathematical. Third one is body kinesthetic intelligence. Fourth one is musical intelligence. Fifth one is interpersonal intelligence. Sixth one is intrapersonal. Seventh one is visual intelligence. And eighth one is naturalistic intelligence. So according to Howard Gardner, this is the multiple intelligence theory. According to Gardner, Howard Gardner, what we see, he says that every individual have 8 kinds of intelligence within the intelligence system. They have 8 kind of intelligence. These 8 kind of intelligence are responsible for all the functioning we can see within the individual. So the 8 intelligence be the linguistic intelligence, logical mathematical intelligence, body kinesthetic intelligence, musical intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, naturalist, and visual spatial. It is also called spatial, visual, spatial. So visual spatial intelligence. So they are the 8 kind of intelligence. So according to Gardner, every individual have these 8 intelligence, but the domain of the individual in which he is working, the domain is about the various kind of things which he will is going to perceive and whatever he is going to do. So what we see, Snowman and Macron has identified some misconceptions about the MI. That is, first one, a person who has strength in a particular intelligence will excel on all tasks within that domain. No, it is not so. According to Gardner, what he says that an individual may be strong in one intelligence area and not in second area. So wherever he is strong, he will choose any particular kind of functioning within that intelligence. Like what I'm saying, that I have chosen as a profession of teaching. So as I am teaching, gradually I became more proficient in linguistic because I have to communicate regularly. I am teaching a particular subject, I will be more proficient in that particular subject. So what will happen, I have to interact with the students, I will be more proficient in interpersonal relationship. So what it signifies my 2 domains will have more development than the other domains. Why? Because I am using those faculties continuously. I am using those faculties continuously for my functioning. Like I am communicating with the students, I am communicating with the peers, I am interpersonal linking with the students. So what we see that various kind of, out of these multiple intelligences, my various kinds of functioning will further increase the domain expansion of particular intelligence, that is the linguistic intelligence and the interpersonal intelligence. So these two intelligence will be developed. Second misconception is that the true intelligence changes over time and career decisions are not related to high levels. It is also wrong. It may happen that intelligence changes, but true intelligence never changes. Those are the areas where we feel happy and comfortable. Whatever our intelligence type, we will feel happy and comfortable if we have chosen those as our career. That I am very comfortable and happy in teaching, therefore I have chosen it, and now I am very proficient in this. Why so? Because that was my core area of intelligence and I have developed it. And again, there are various ways to develop each category of intelligence. Yes, this is true that there are various ways, but as an learner, we cannot focus on our intelligence. We cannot focus on. As a child, we have to facilitate so that the child can understand what is his domain of interest, what is his natural self of intelligence. But it is not enough time within the day, within the life, so that we can work upon every 8 intelligence. So gradually, as we grow up, we start focusing on certain domains, we start working in those domains, and those faculties ultimately develop. So according to Gardner, every individual have all 8 intelligences types. The profession they choose, the faculties they are using gradually develop those intelligence areas which are more prominent, and the individual will function within that particular domain. So what are the domains where individual may function? So when we talk about the linguistic domain, so they are good in reading and writing, they easily remember the facts and information, they are skillful in reading, in writing, in communication, be it persuasive speaking. They are, so what professions they can use? They can become poets, they can become writers, they can become teachers, because teacher, linguistic intelligence is very important to communicate. They can become counselors, they can become guide, they can become public speakers. So leaders also have the linguistic intelligence because they are communicating with the people. Our Prime Minister is very much an orator, and this oration has actually achieved him the position he is on because he is very good orator. So as these professions require communication, language, therefore linguistic intelligence is very much important. Then logical, mathematical, they are good in maths, they are good in problem solving, they are good in maths, they are good in problem solving, they analyze things, they are good with numbers. So what they can become? They can become scientists, they can become clerks, they can become mathematician, they can become detective, they can become analysts, data collectors, data analysts. Then the musical intelligence, they are very good in the sensibility of the sound, They enjoy and can produce the rhythms, music. They can easily play the instruments. So they can become songwriters, music players, musicians, singers. The poets are also having the musical intelligence, then therefore they can see the rhythm. Then we see the body kinesthetic intelligence. So body kinesthetic intelligence, playing football, playing games, body kinesthetic. They are good at physical activities. They are good at making things with their hands because they are good at sports. So they can become the sculptures, the tool makers. The laborers have the kinesthetic intelligence. They are doing the physical work. The dancers, the actors, they have the kinesthetic intelligence because they are using the body for various kind of functioning. So it is related to the use of the body kinesthetic intelligence. Then comes the interpersonal intelligence. They care about other people feelings. They are good in giving advices. They are good in communicating and connecting with the others. So they can become teachers, counselors, guide, therapist. Leaders also have interpersonal intelligence. Then the teachers also have the various kind of religious people. They have interpersonal intelligence because they have to communicate with the people. Then comes the intrapersonal intelligence. That is, they prefer to work alone. They have high motivation in themselves. They try to remain within their circle. So they can become philosophers, they can become scientists, they can become astronauts, they can become the preachers. So that is the intrapersonal. They can become healers. Then comes the naturalist intelligence. So they are highly sensitive towards the nature. They enjoy activities within the nature. They are good and love the organism like the animals, birds, etc., the plants. So they can become the zookeepers, naturalist, biologist, environmentalist. They are the nature lovers. Then the visual spatial. Visual spatial means that they are good at sense and directions. They have a strong visual memory. They can manipulate things. So what we see that they can become cartographers, geographers. They can work upon various kind of instruments because visual spatial is there, visual intelligence is there. So there are these 8 intelligences, and the people are good at various kind of works related to these intelligence. They are good at these intelligences. So that was multiple intelligence theory. In the next class, we will deal upon the Piaget's cognitive development theory as well as the Erickson's psychosocial development. The visual graphics was very poor. It may happen that I may take this class again with the visual graphic, the new visual graphics. Actually, the graphics has been converted is very poor. So with the new and enhanced visual graphics, because when I am stretching the slide, it is getting faded. It is very faded. We are not getting words in it particularly na. So I will see to the graphics and will make the graphics better. So you people want to ask anything, you can ask it. So I think nobody has problem. That is very good. So you should prepare the notes out of the various lectures I am taking. You people have got the books also. In books, these theories have been given. The theories I am taking up now, these theories have been given. So hope you are enjoying it, and it will help you to crack every exam, every eligibility exam, whichever you are going for, particularly for the lecture exams for the adult learners. As well as if you have not still downloaded the app, you should download the app, and the people who have not purchased the course, you can purchase the course on the Teststar app. Link has been given in the description. You can see the link. We'll meet again on Monday with the new theories. Up till and until that, take care of yourself. We will meet again. Namaskar.